Alrighty. Hello and welcome to Invisible Inc. This is a game by Clay, which is people that made Don't Starve and all that good stuff. I decided, like, looking through my Steam library of like, oh, this is a game I could play on YouTube because it's sort of discrete levels, as opposed to something more continuous where there's no easy breaking point. I mean, it's been like 3 months since I uploaded anything, so this is gonna be fun. But the reason this makes good is because I can bulk record like a week's worth of content without having to record something every day, and it makes motivation a little bit easier. So the reason I stopped playing Lobotomy Corporation, which I intend to continue at some point, but it's because it takes like an hour to do one day, and I'm not even guaranteed to get through the day, and it feels like a wasted episode. And it runs into a lot of problems of needing to restart the entire day, and then it's like another hour, and it's like and then you got to restart the whole campaign from the beginning to get like to progress, to have better people, to have a better chance of getting through the day, and to not have as many obnoxious anomalies. And it's one of those like if I was not doing it for recording, I would just brute force it and just reset a bunch of times and just play for like 10 hours and just, you know, stack up a bunch of information about all the fucking top tier shit and unlock it. But that doesn't work really well on YouTube, and I don't really feel like editing down a big swath of me doing that in case I miss something interesting. And okay, it'd be fine to stream. I find that I'm quite boring if I'm like, if I can easily just record and brute force it, but I wouldn't have anything interesting. I could record the brute force and put the highlights in, but it's like, then it would just be boring. But anyway, this is a video about Invisible Inc, which hopefully I'll be able to play a campaign of. Invisible Inc, you pay as a spy agency and you infiltrate and basically, you know, do a level, get better gear, upgrade your characters and whatnot, and try and defeat the big bad guys. I think I've completed one game on beginner, and I had a game on experienced, but like I kind of fucked it up because my big thing with this game is you kind of have to take your time, and I'm hoping that making YouTube videos will mean that I actually take my time and think everything through and explain my thinking. Whereas when I do it on my own, I tend to go like, okay, move this person there, move that person there, move that person there, and then go, oh fuck, I fucked up, like, you know, didn't think that through all the way. Anyway, so we're gonna do a beginner. At least for the first time. Like, maybe if this gets views, I'll fucking do an expert or experienced. But we're gonna start with beginner so that we actually finish the campaign. I don't just get like 3 fucking missions in and give up. I think it's got an introductory cutscene before you get to the character selection, so I'll let that play if there is.
Get to the main server, collect the data, and get out. No detours.
Copy that, Central.
Proceeding to target. Insertion was clean. Alarm level holding steady. We need to get to the 3rd floor. We can make our way to the server room from there.
Any chatter on the comms?
Negative. It's silent on all frequencies.
They should have detected us by now.
Receiving priority wireless transmission.
They're onto you. Get out. Get out of there!
HQ compromised. We're going to need an extraction. I've got Incognita. Deckard and International are on their way.
Get to the roof. I'll cover you. Go!
Decker, how long till extraction?
30 seconds.
Get us out of here. We've got work to do.
Alright, so a quick summary of the plot after that cutscene is we're a spy organization that's fighting against the government. We have an AI that controls the operations, and I believe that's what I play as. Like in lore, I'm playing as the AI, telling people what to do. Originally, I believe you only have these 2 characters to start, and as you complete campaigns, you unlock more characters. Like these 4 are the 4 I unlocked from...
Tony Zoo. I found Decker. International is one of the best all-round...
Okay, yeah, so I think you start with these 2 because in the cutscene they're the 2 on the plane, so you escape with the AI and that. So we've got 72 hours of power, and we've got to do a bunch of missions to try and beat the big bad corporations before the power runs out, and that's the time limit on the campaign. Yeah, I don't know what to do. So anyway, I think I'll start with these 2 because the last time, like the only campaign I've actually finished, these 2 are the ones I had, and they're reasonably good. I'll get the thing to read out their backstories, and we'll go from there. Okay, I can't do that, so I gotta pick you.
I found Decker living in a bottle after his termination. He's cleaned up since then, but I keep eyes on, just to be sure. The 20th century thing is an unfortunate affectation, but I'm not paying him for his fashion sense. Shalem International is one of the best all-round operatives I've ever seen, but she's held back by an unfortunate abundance of social concern. If used correctly, she's the bedrock upon which you can build a winning team. Just don't ask her about the plight of the global proletariat. I found
Need that again. Okay, so so International basically has a stun attack which will knock targets out for 2 turns and has a 3-turn cooldown, and wireless emitter, which means that we can remotely access things that normally you'd have to be next to access. What does Decker have? Decker has the stun, cloaking, renders the invisible until their next turn, or if they are attacked. Or if they attack. So every 8 turns he can turn invisible for 1 turn. And let's see, and allows the agent to uncover daemons in adjacent objects. Okay, so basically he can, if he goes and stands next to an object that can be hacked, he'll tell you if hacking it will have a negative side effect. These are how you generate power, and basically power is the currency of each turn. Contingency plan. I have the DLC. Gain 3 power. Agents gain 3 action points. Negative 3 action points on cooldown. 2-turn cooldown. Okay. So, I think I'm gonna again stick with the basic setup because it's sort of. I think the game's sort of balanced around that being like until you're actually good and have tactics to do that. So basically power drip means that every turn I get 1 extra power. There's things like this, which is gain 3 power every 4 turns. Wait, gain 3 power per turn on cooldown. 4-turn cooldown. Okay. Okay, right. So this costs nothing and just activates every turn, give me 1 power. This costs 5 power to activate, and will give me 3 power for every turn it's active. So it's sort of like a you need to collect power, then you can start it. Once it's started, you can probably keep it running, unless you do too much other things, and then you can't start it again. Seed, your first program each turn costs 4 less power, so basically this is 1 free action a turn, basically, and then you have to, any other action will cost additional power. Okay, so yeah, complete missions to, so complete experience to unlock and get more XP to unlock. So, and then contingency plan, this is gain 3 power, everyone gets 3 extra turns, and then next turn loses 3 turns, 3 moves. So we're gonna stay with power drip because it's the most like not fuck upable. So this costs 2 power and breaks 1 firewall. So this costs 0 power and breaks 1 firewall at the start of each turn. Plus 1 power per cost per hosted parasite. So that basically is going to cost 1 power to break a lock. So this is 2 power to instantly break 1. This is 1 power to break 1 per turn, like 1 power per turn to break 1 firewall per turn, but you have to wait until the next turn. At the start of your next turn it'll break. Rapier, break 1 firewall, power cost increases 1. So this is sort of like a, if you're quick, you can break a bunch of locks for cheaper than lockpick, but once the alarm level goes up, it's the same cost as lockpick, and then if it goes up again, it's more expensive than lockpick. So the longer the level lasts, the more expensive that becomes. Haven't unlocked anything else, and this one contingency plan. Break 2 firewalls for 2 power. -1 power cost per turn. -1 power cost per turn resets when used. So it's basically a double lockpick. But like the reason that it's worth, but gets cheaper every turn you don't use it. The reason it's worth the lockpick is that if you only have to break 1 firewall, you have to pay for the 4. So you can do like that. That would be interesting. Anyway, I spent 11 minutes of this video before we even start the game, but we'll probably get the introductory campaign done before the end of this video. Okay.
Operator, are you there? Good. I was afraid you didn't make it out. Headquarters is gone. Most of our agents have been captured or killed, and our accounts all frozen. I don't know how the corporations found us, but you can bet they won't give up now that they've had a taste of blood. The jet's stealth rig should keep us hidden if we keep moving, but Incognita can't survive long on backup power. She's got 72 hours, tops. We need to mount a counterattack before then, or we'll be defenseless against their scans. If that happens, we may as well just crash this thing into the ocean. You've never seen the inside of a corporate deprogramming chamber. I won't see the inside of another. Incognita is scanning for targets of opportunity where we can replenish our supplies. Follow her leads and gather what resources you can. I'll run through our contacts and see what favors I can call in. We're going to need all of the advantages we can find in the coming days.
Okay. So that's our beginning loadout. So, oh god, you actually can't pause that. Please tell me there's like a... Okay. Does that pause it? No? Okay. So it literally runs in real time, apparently. This map, which will be fine, because, again, I'm not going to spend 72 hours talking. I hope. But it is just a little bit annoying that when you get to, like, if you have, like, an hour left, if you spend 10 minutes talking, you're wasting actual time. Actual game time. But I don't think it's that long, because, again, like, this takes 12 hours to get there. I don't know how long it actually takes to get.
Executives are notoriously slack when it comes to network security, and their terminals are full of interesting information. We found a lightly guarded executive complex here. Get in, find the computer, and steal their contact list. Then we'll have our pick of future targets.
Basically, you always have this mission at the beginning. It's easy, and if you complete it, you get more choices of missions in the future. If you fail it, you get less choices of missions in the future. May or may not have failed it a few times before.
Executives are notoriously...
It's infiltrate. So basically, it takes time to fly to the mission. So sometimes you'll be like, oh, I need this thing, but it's further, so I can do less missions in total.
Corporate firewall breached.
So it's like a division of time. You've got to...
Bad news, operator. They caught us completely by surprise, so we have no firepower with us. The guards' weapons are gene-coded to their owner and useless to us. We're going to have to make do with what we can find along the way. We've beamed you through the security grid. You should be somewhere near the target, but you'll need to look for it. Get the list and find a transport pad to escape. But be quick about it. They noticed a disturbance when we ported in, and their alarm level is already rising.
Okay. So... always good to swap between, because this person will find things like this. Basically, that's their ability, is where they can remotely see those things, and they give us the ability to basically, like, we can hack the camera, because usually you have to spot the camera, but because of their wireless thing, they can find the camera without having to actually look in the room. If I open this up, okay. So that room's a bit of a dud. So we're gonna run you to here, and if we open this door, do we see more? No. So we're gonna leave this door closed, and we're gonna put you in ambush, and actually we should move you there and put you in ambush, just in case someone comes through that door, and put you in ambush in case someone comes through that door. I don't think they can come through locked doors, and I don't think we have the ability to break these locks. Yeah, we need a passcode. Anyway, basically we get to take this many action. We have this many action points. Each action costs an action point. So peeking costs an action point. Can't really go through that door because it's locked anyway. But because we spotted that camera, we can go through it. We can't go through here because it'll trigger the alarm and raise the alarm level of the building, and that'll do things like let's see. Next alarm level will security system will finish booting. So I don't know if that means nothing happens or whether more cameras come online. But it'll do things like it might reboot the security system, which will unhack all the cameras that I've hacked, but they'll be off for one turn, so I can rehack them. What else? More guards can come. Guards can change what patrols they take. Okay, so we run you here and peek. Okay, so there's a guard, and we can spend one action point and work out that they're going there next turn. So we're gonna move you here. I'm going to move you here and peek. Run you here.
Warning.
Okay. Yeah, so this grid, if you walk through it, will increase the alarm. But if I can find the power supply for it, I can hack it and turn it off. So we end turn, yes? Anything to hack? No. Okay. So we can see the security guard. This location is watched by the enemy. So he's gonna come back. But we know there's nothing there. So if we go through the door, close the door, through the door, and close the door. I literally think we just locked ourselves in a room. Yeah, there's nothing there.
Warning.
So if we peek through here, there doesn't seem to be anything. We'll go through here. We'll go over here, and we can steal some power. And we can peek through here. Okay, there's the power system. So if we hack that, that'll turn that off. Which, I mean, we don't know where the exit is. Kind of useless, really, to turn that off. But we also apparently toggle it now that we have control. So I don't really know what that does. Move you here. And enter. I mean, really, I could be moving a lot faster than I am, but again, I'm doing that, like, I fucked up a lot of campaigns because I do dipshit things like, we're probably gonna take this guy out, and we'll send Decker ahead to see if we can find, the target. Okay, so camera, no, there's a safe, which we want to crack. Basically, the game has a lot of trade-offs of, like, you can be really stealthy, or you can do basically my approach, especially early, is I can knock this guard out, which puts my weapon on cooldown, but he's pinned, and pinned means that knockout timer doesn't increase. So he's knocked out for 3 turns, and every turn that he's not pinned, that will go down. you can re-knock them out. So I could leave for 2 turns, come back and knock him out again if my weapon's recharged, but it costs a weapon recharge. Okay, so I'm going to nick his money and his access card, and I'm going to drag him, because this is my normal approach. I'm sending Decker ahead to scout, and she's just basically going to drag this character as far as she can so that she's further forward when I drop him and run. But I've got to locate the target and preferably the exit. So there's like this. I don't want to just. Okay, so security system finishes booting. So I'm assuming because it's the beginning level that just does nothing. So what's next? More surveillance cameras turn up. So like I was saying, so if I drop you, open the door, and pick you up again, and move you there. So basically, I could just stand on this guy pinning him. But I figure why not move, because I'm not going to move into anything's way, and it just means that after 3 or 4 turns, you will be close enough to probably just sprint. Because yeah, I could just leave them in place.
You found the executive terminal. Hack it, and we can get out of here.
So probably, that was probably really dumb. We run you there, and that's everyone's turns. So the exit's that way, for sure, like it's through that door, so... you have a security card, don't you? Yeah, okay, so we can get here and open that door. Oh, there's a door there. Okay, so when we hack that terminal, I think things are going to change. So there's the exit. We want to be really careful. Probably shouldn't scout with Decker because he doesn't have the ability to find the cameras. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some fun stuff. So we know the exit's there. We know there's a guard in there because I heard him moving. So we're going to go see if we can get some extra currency, because again, I'm trading off security. Like, I'm taking longer on the level and risking getting caught, and like basically fucking myself over. Primarily because I know. So let's hack this before it's expensive. So another thing an alarm level increase can do is increase the number of firewalls that everything has. So you're out for 3 turns. So 2 turns to get to here, but I don't know what's through there, so that might take more than a turn. So we still don't want to drop you yet. Basically, I'm going to drop this guy and run for it as soon as I get within. So probably 1-2 turns. So 3 turns. You'll be there before he wakes up. So. Yeah, so I'm gonna drop him as soon as I reckon I can get a reasonable distance within his knockout timer. So the wireless scanner found that. So we're gonna run here, and we're going to knock this guy out, right? Knock this guy out. So that'll give me 3 turns. So that'll be. So we're gonna steal. We're gonna take his money and his key card. We're gonna run here, and we're gonna take some credits, and then we're going to run back. I'm going to unlock this door. Okay. So now we have to keep 2 pinned, which you can do some pretty nifty things, because again, we only have to keep them pinned for like we don't have to keep them pinned every turn. Keeping them pinned just doesn't cause the timer to decrease. So it was like my options were I could run here, loot this, and move to here. But that would tick his timer down by 1. Or I could run back here, which basically gives me 1 extra turn of him being knocked out. So at some point, I'm going to ditch you, probably, and just run for it. But see, I can do things like this. I can come here, I can peek. We can work out where everything is. We can work out what we want to do. So that'll do that. So we can't get back, so we may as well... So that'll be 1 turn movement. Ooh, a nanofab. So that's a shop that lets you so we're gonna hack that. So there's 2 more doors that way. So what we want to do is end our turn. Alarm level 1 up. Okay. So the alarm level's gone up. So now there's gonna be a camera here, a camera here, a camera here. So we want to hack this one. We want to hack that. So we'll hack this camera, which means that this way is going to be clear. And if we can get this person through this door, we don't have to hack these cameras because we're never coming back this way. So we've basically got 1 turn. I don't know where that camera's going to see is the problem. So we're probably going to ditch this guy, and we've got a 3 turn timer started. So you're going to run to here. Probably should... Can I undo? I think these are per level. 5 rewinds will reset simulation back to the start of your previous turn. Previous turn? Can I undo a move though? To the camera? No. I guess I'm gonna use a rewind because that was just again me being too fast. So you're going here. Then you're gonna peek. I almost just ran straight through because I'm an idiot. But I thought about it for a second. So then we're gonna close you and you're gonna run in here. And then we're gonna hack that as well. So I'm gonna see if I can buy something early to make this easier. So next turn the cameras are gonna reboot. So we're gonna run you to here and hope that we can get through that door this time. But if we can't, we're going to drop him, we're going to close the doors, because closing the doors will mean that they won't know which way we went. So that'll we're going to end the turn.
Alarm level 2.
Yes, okay.
Additional cameras activated.
That camera we have to take.
Surveillance level increased.
These 2 cameras, I'm hoping. Yeah, so we're just going to ditch. We're going to run here. We're going to close the door. Okay, so then we could run there and close that door. Or we can basically just try and get there. I think we're going to run there and close that door. And then we're going to move there. So basically I'm trying to get on top of this guy before the end of next turn. Okay. So if I move you there, can we see what the nanofab has? So we can buy a gun with no armor piercing. Sets your agent speed skill to 3. The skill cannot be upgraded, not installed. So we can probably just drop that. Can I sell this? No. Okay, so we can sell these though. So we can buy a battery, which lets you recharge. It's like basically ignore a cooldown. One time use revive a dying agent, so revive someone who's been downed. Accelerated chip. Use this power generated by 1. Okay. So these are items. So there's items, weapons, and augments. Augments are applied to your character. I think you have to install them. So like if I take this augment, he doesn't get the ability, but maybe he does. Maybe it just gets installed now. But I'm thinking I'm going to take this because it sets his speed to 3 and his speed is currently 2. But it'd be better on her because his speed's already 2, and this sets speed skill to 3. And this skill can no longer be upgraded. So it'd be better on her because it would be a 2-point increase, whereas on him it's a 1-point increase, and his whole thing is speed. Yeah, so this just increases power, and then they can just be used every 2 turns, whereas this is like a once-off item that'll recharge something. And then there's the gun. I think it actually works. This doesn't. Yeah, refills the weapons ammo or reduces the. Yeah, so this has 1 shot. We can refill it. So that's a lethal weapon. So. I don't know if I want that on here, so I'm going to say no, and I'm going to try and get you to take it. Okay, so now unlock the safe. I'm hoping the camera's over here. Yeah, or obviously. And I still can't see the camera. So if I move there, can I see the camera? No. But that is a good room to get into. So crack these, which is kind of dumb because once we find the camera, only have 1 power. So close that door. So we're basically gonna have to send this person what's her name again? Into National. International's gonna come down here because her wireless scanner will find that camera for me. So what we're going to do is this guard's going to be knocked out for 1 more turn. So because we unlocked this door, even if we hadn't, she has a keycard of her own because we stole it from the other guy. So what we can do is we can re-knock this guy out, which will reset our stun timer, and then we can continue on as if we hadn't. So he's got extra knockout. So I don't think there's anything. So if we open the door, So opening doors has slightly different vision than not opening doors. Odds of that being doorway are low. So we're gonna run you here to grab some extra power. And we're gonna start running you back. So basically we're gonna try and swap these people around. So you're going to run here and hopefully get in, find the camera in here and nickel this money and grab that augment on the way. So we'll stop on the way because it might install. I don't remember, but I think you have to install. Like you have to go to a special place. Yeah, see, I can put an inventory or I can install. So I'm going to install.
Augment installed.
Because that will give you basically 2 extra moves per turn because your speed was 1, now it's 3. But you'll never be able to increase your speed. So now you can move 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay. So we're gonna run you here. And we found the camera. So then we can hack the camera, we can hack the save. And we can hack that. And why is this good? Because now that we have the camera, we can go in here without worrying. But now, basically, we're going to get a heap of money, which should greatly increase our chances of success in the future. Because already we've boosted an agent's speed by 2, which is hugely expensive, way more than 400 if I remember, to do without an augment. We run there, we can... Okay. Apparently we can't, so we'll just run one more. We'll loot you. So we're gonna grab that. I'm gonna run here. We're gonna that and try and run back. So basically, you're just really zippy now. You also have this, which needs anarchy skill too. Use this to manually break through 2 firewalls. That's actually pretty good if I can boost your anarchy skill. Do you have to touch it? Don't think so, because you've got the remote hack, which means you might be able to use that remote, but maybe not. Anyway, we're gonna run you onto you, and he's almost woken up. He's definitely woken up, and he's probably looking for us. So we're gonna grab you and move here, and we're just gonna try our best. We should probably knock you out again, because reset your stun timer. And it's going to be probably 3 turns before we have to knock someone else out again, at least with Deco. So, then we get in this turn, and this guy is now going to start searching. And because we closed this door, I believe he's more likely to search this direction, because he's going to search the direction of, he's going to go, oh, they went this way, all the doors are open. So, the hope is, because like, if we get this guy to drag, so basically what this translates to is we can get a move or 2 closer, stun-wise. But the issue is we've dropped him in this room. Probably should have left him at the door and tried to just go. Because now there's statistical odds of him.
Alarm level 3.
Okay.
Firewalls
Okay.
increased.
That's why I hacked this earlier, is because all firewalls. Now it takes 2 hacks to break these. So that's why I hacked the objective earlier. So we're going to run all the way here, and then Decker is going to run all the way here, because that means in 1 turn he can grab that and probably run. I don't know if we want to waste our stun on him, because how many turns has Decker got left? Like how you went from having 2 turns less, one move less than Decker to having 1 move more than Decker, because I got that upgrade. So your weapon is recharged. Decker's weapon is recharged, which means that I'm going to run you here, and we're going to knock this guy out, increasing his stun time to 1. So your stun's 3. Do you have 3? Yeah, knocks out for 3 turns. There's one of the agents that I've had before has their knockouts last for 1 extra turn. So then we're going to run through here, and we're going to close the door. I'm going to run you all the way up here. Still didn't find the camera. So Decker is going to go here. We're going to end our turn. Because we could grab this, but if we grab this, I believe it instantly boosts the alarm level, or like it activates some kind of trigger, which will mean that the guards will change their patrol pattern, and I want to make sure that I have International next to this door. So there's no camera in there, which means International's just gonna go in and fuck. Deck is gonna go in because I'm an idiot. Forgot that International doesn't actually have stun left. And basically we're just gonna
Investigate in the area.
go super balls to the wall because we're about to escape, and we're going to go steal his shit. Let's steal him, just for shits and giggles. No, actually, we'll carry him out of the level. I want to see what this does. We're going to say, run. Run gives me 3 extra moves, but means that I generate sound circles. And basically, if drop the security card, grab the site map. Yes, close.
Good job. You've got the site list. They noticed you poking about and have changed up their patrols.
See?
Be careful on your way out.
But yeah, these circles. If basically if there was a guard on the other side of a wall, they would hear me. But we're literally about to escape. So he's woken up. Which when a guard wakes up, the alarm level increases by 1. So basically, you don't want to just keep knocking them out, and waking them up, even if they're miles away from you and never going to.
That contact list will prove invaluable when planning our next
Damn it,
move.
I wanted to
Excellent work.
Yeah. So, I don't remember. So, basically, clean up 0. So we didn't kill anyone. So it doesn't cost us money. So basically, it costs you money to kill people, I believe. We use 26 power. We can. We got all the consoles. We gained 43 power. So in the end, we actually ended up gaining a lot more power than we used. Items and programs. So we got that, and we also got the burst chip, which might be useful to give to Deca maybe, because you tend not to go touching things. So we also stole 310 credits. We got 730 from safes, and we spent 400, which means that we gained 640, but our net worth went up 2,390. I'm assuming because that's worth more than... No. Because not all of this gets converted to credits? 700? No. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, so basically, we can spend 600 to upgrade your speed by 1. But because we bought that augment for 400, we boosted your we boosted you by 2, which basically means that it was cheaper to buy the augment, but the augment means that we can't increase it anymore. And that's why I put it on her, not him, because him would have saved me $200. Her, it saved me probably 1,000, so it would have been 400, 600, I think. I think this increases with every... Yeah, so if we increase our strength, we get an extra item that we can carry, increases drag speed. Increases drag speed. So when you get to level 5, increases knockout timer of melee weapons by +1. So that's what I was talking about. But there's also, I think, there's an agent that you can get that does that as well. So Anarchy means you can steal from knocked out guards. When you upgrade it, you can steal from behind them, which means you don't actually have to knock out the guard to nick from them, which I like to do. Especially because you can move so far, I think I'm going to get that, because that means you can use that burst chip, and you can move really far, which means you could run into a room, steal from their pocket, run out the other side, without having to knock them out, which means I never have to increase the alarm level to steal from people. And then there's 15% more when you're stealing, 20% more when stealing. Stealing increases the chances to find items. Ooh, that's nice. So I'm going to probably go with an Anarchy build on you, hacking. So plus extra power when hacking, extra power when hacking, extra power when hacking. And so yeah, just the higher the hacking level, the more power you get for hacking. So it's kind of useless. Really, like, except for when you get some really good fucking things. That's pretty useless. And your strength. So I think I'll boost Decker's strength. I'm gonna give you the run and gun, I guess I'm gonna call it, approach. You're gonna be stealing shit. So we're gonna boost that so that you can use that item. So you're basically gonna be zipping around. You're gonna run in, you're gonna steal shit out of people's pockets, you're gonna run up to safes and crack them with your cracker. And because you've got the wireless, you'll be like a scout, basically. And then Decker, we're probably going to boost his strength, and he's going to be the pack mule. So we'll boost his strength by 1, which is going to cut into our credits. But so he can now carry 2 items, and you can carry an extra. You can carry an item, basically, because they're both got a piece of equipment now. I originally didn't. But I'm going to boost his strength because what boosting his strength will do is mean that he can drag things one more further. So basically, you're going to... let's point out my actual screen. International's going to run around, and if International knocks someone out, I'll put Decker on, and Decker will basically try and drag them to as close to the exit or wherever we're going. Hacking, I think, is going to be fairly useless for my playthrough style because I don't think I'm going to get that many expensive expensive abilities. Your Anarchy is kind of useless. Like, you should have an Anarchy speed character and a strength speed character, I guess. Like, what is boosting speed? Speed is just more and more movement speed, and at 5 you get extra sprint speed. So yeah, basically Decker, I'm going to try and max out his speed and strength. International, I'm just going to try and max out Anarchy because your speed's already what it is. The reason max out his speed is because basically if he's dragging the corpse, he's going to slowly trail behind, and then if he's got extra movement speed, he can catch up in less turns. But anyway, yeah. So basically we only have lockpick at the moment, which means power is fairly useless, so upgrading hacking is useless. Mission selection.
I've re-established contact with Monster. His network picked up the attack just before it hit us, and we're working to trace it back to the source. In the meantime, he's offered to sell us some of his more rarefied stock.
Greetings. I don't often perform transactions face-to-face, but Gladstone is an old friend. I'll contact you when anything becomes available.
Thank you, Monster. If we find their central server, we may be able to bring them down, or at least distract them long enough that they lose our trail. Continue scavenging operations, and I'll keep you posted as more intel develops.
Okay. Basically, Monster is, 6 goddamn minutes. Fucking actual time. It's a lost just from me, but basically Monster is the shop. So, how do I do that? No, that's view achievements, don't need that. You can't see the overlay anyway. Upgrade agents is here. Monster. Buy sell.
Thing for a client. Real motivated seller. You won't beat this price.
So I can get smoke grenade effect range. The effective range will be 3 turns. 3 tiles. This item has only 1 use. Throw to create a cloud of smoke that obscures vision in an area. So basically, we can throw a smoke grenade out and then do something with it. But yeah, so he'll
I'm taking a big risk selling to you right now, so don't make me regret it.
He'll sell us stuff. We have 400 credits. Amount of credits has been spent to purchase and upgrades, and the value of all agent items, programs, and credits. Okay, so this is just like a score, I guess. So 12 hours, 12 hours, 12 hours. So okay, anyway, that's going to be the end of this episode because it's already 45 minutes by the time I finish this wrap up, and we did 1 mission. Next episode shouldn't be nearly as long because I won't be explaining how the game works. I won't have that fucking 2-minute spiel at the beginning about the other where the other series have gone. But like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode of Invisible Inc, where we work out where we're going.